first round pick. Hey, throw that list away. All right.
Why are we around?
Welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From my homes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate troop. This ain't no game, it's our passion on display.
The baby
Chiefs
himself.
Blitz podcast, real fans unite. Every touchdown scored, we ignite the night. From tailgate chatter to post-game debate, we love our Chiefs, yes, never too late.
I would even bring MBS back in the middle of the season.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
All righty, welcome to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com and produced by BowTie Sports and Mango Sports, Mango Entertainment, all things Mango. We appreciate those guys very much. I'm your host, Nick Athan, along with Mr. Hense Todd, Mr. Lou Montagna, and Coach Andre Tillman. We are here on our Friday. How many weeks we got till the opener? What? We got 80 some odd days?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I guess close to 11 weeks.
I can't wait. I'm ready. The Royals are tanking. I'm ready for Chiefs football. So
it will zip right by.
There we go. We'll have mini camp next week. We'll have some commentary about all that. And I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And the Chiefs are off for 4 weeks till they go to training camp up in St. Joe. It's going to be a very busy end of the month for the Chiefs because I expect they will announce where they will be playing football going
in Missouri.
They will either stay in Missouri in a refitted somehow Arrowhead Stadium, or they will be moving to Kansas City, Kansas for a brand new dome stadium.
Stay tuned. They're staying in Missouri.
So they've done it before. Do you think they would continue to play at Arrowhead while the renovations are going on?
That was a pretty unique thing. That was a nightmare. It was a nightmare for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
The problem was the Chiefs weren't all that great when they were doing the renovation last time, so they didn't have to deal with the postseason and some other things and the amount of fans in the stands. I think the only choice they have is renovated. I don't know where they would put a dome stadium. Now, if it was up to me, since they're going to tear down redo the practice facility, I would just attach it to the practice facility up on the hill. Keep Arrowhead where it is. Keep Royal Stadium where it is. The Royals are going to make their announcement at the end of the month as well. They're leaning toward a site at 119th and Knoll, where Town Center is for those who live in Leawood, Kansas, and Johnson County. If that happens, then if they want a dome, that's the only way to do it. If they want to retrofit Arrowhead, they can upgrade it to a point, but they cannot. You can't put a dome there. You might be able to put some sort of cover that might get you a Super Bowl, but it won't get you a Final Four. It'll get you concerts and things like that. So it just depends on Clark Hunt and his tug toward the stadium that his father built, and that's a pretty big tug. I think
my question was more towards if they do go that route of the refurb and they don't move while that's going on, can you see them playing games in another location for that?
No, I don't think that the Chiefs or the NFL would allow that, and you don't want to do it during the Patrick Mahomes era.
What about the K? Can you refit that to be a football?
They can't get 80,000 people in there. There's no way to do it.
Yeah.
You could put a 100-yard stadium in there, kind of like I know the Yankees have done that with Notre Dame football,
right?
Or the Pine Strip Bowl or Pinstripe Bowl?
Pinstripe.
Yeah, Pinstripe Bowl. So yeah, it's entirely possible.
They've done it at Wrigley, other places.
It would have to be like one of those 8-game home seasons where they play one, maybe even 2 games internationally, so then only have to deal with maybe 5 home games. That'd be the only way I think they could do it. But it's too close to call at this point. But I don't think there's a way to play somewhere else. They're going to have to work through it at Arrowhead. And again, the changes are going to be the last reimagination or renovation was really more stuff underneath, more options on the sides where the goalposts are to put some different seating in different sections. Then you're transplanting those season ticket holders. So I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of logistics.
Yeah.
I guess the other piece would be if they decide to go with a refurbish, like how quickly does that start? Do they wait until the end of this lease, or do they like immediately, hey, let's make the plans, let's get this done as soon as possible?
I think that's going to depend on what the experts feel about the foundation of Arrowhead, how strong that concrete is. The Chiefs have good concrete and the Royals have bad concrete. I've said that multiple times. That's why the Royals can't stay there or renovate that stadium.
That's the way it happens, man. Being in our family's business and so forth, some batches are good and some not so
and the
good.
Royals got shitty concrete, and that's just all there is to it.
That's all sound nice, but we'll leave that for another segment.
Well, hey,
what are we busy? You got somewhere to go? What's happening?
A whole show to do. So with that said, we have reached our sponsors.
Let's do it.
Baseball is back.
That's right. Baseball is back on Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you cash in today. You can play the pick'em game. It's very similar to what you did with the NFL where you're doing the Chiefs stuff. Now it's all about baseball, and especially the Royals. You can go higher or lower. It's really simple to use. Their app is amazing. You just choose your entry fee. You decide what you want to play, and you just see the winnings coming if you know what you're doing. So take a swing today and make sure that you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, and they're going to give you a meatball right off the gamut, Bobby Wood Jr. special. So start with a W for your first entry and new customers. Make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz. That's right. Use that code Chiefs Blitz. We make it really simple here. I know you got a lot of options around Chiefs land with Underdog, but we'd really help if you would promote Chiefs Blitz. Just hit the QR code on the right. Put in the promo code Chiefs Blitz. Deposit $5. You get 15 bonus. Play that $5. And you're going to be starting off playing a great game. You got the NBA Finals. You got the NHL Stanley Cup going on. Some tremendous games. Pacers have a chance to tie the series tonight 2-2. The Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers are 2-2. All bunch of sports you can do, WNBA, things like that. So please give it a shot. We've got a great partner here. We really appreciate everybody signs up. And if you do, I should have grabbed the card. A collectible card, a signed collectible card will come from me to you for simply just depositing the $5, putting in the Chiefs Blitz promo code. All you got to do is send us an instant message, let us know that you've done it, and you will get one of my cards. I have over 100 to give away, so please, please, please give us an opportunity.
Get in there. Don't be shut out. Get that card, baby. That might be bigger than the bets the selections that you make.
That's right. That's right.
I have to be careful.
I got a lot of cards. That's for sure.
I'm in a state where, the underdog game isn't quite, reached.
Yeah. Get on. You have to get on your local congressman and your state officials to do something.
Well, there's casinos here, and all the different apps have their licenses and so forth. So I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You all can go in, like Nick said, scan the QR code, use the promo code Chiefs Blitz, and just get rolling, man. You got a feeling, make it go higher, go lower. It's easy. Just jump in, do your thing, and you're going to get a lot of benefits out of it. So let's play, man.
Let's get it.
Are we going over now, or you got the stopwatch on us? We got a shot clock now with Hensley over.
Let's go. Cat. Sir, let's get right into it.
Oh my gosh. You put his glasses on. I got to talk fast now. We went too long in the opening. Okay, gang, that's right. It is Friday and time for Fact or Cap. That's right. I'm going to read a series of statements grabbed from the headlines, if you would. We'll talk a little Chiefs and then some other teams doing some other things. And you get the opportunity to say, hey, is that statement fact or is it cap? That's you're out of your mind. And you can kind of give us your reasons why. The guys on the panel will certainly do that. And if you want to play along in the chat, we welcome you to jump right in. So given that, let's go ahead and jump right in. So Nick mentioned it. The Pacers, they're up 2-1. There's a lot going on in Indy. You got the triumvirate now, the three Irsay girls. They're all married, so they have different last names, and I don't know what they are right now, but they are the ownership group, and one in particular is in charge by NFL rule. You got the Pacers playing for the NBA championship, and they've got a football team, right? AR-15. Again, something's going on with this kid. So sore shoulder, and we are in mini camp stage. We're in OTA stage. So what is happening here? There's kind of a cloud over him, almost, questions about, does he have the willingness to do what it takes to be great? Is he actually going to be healthy enough to compete for this job? And standing there waiting in the wings is one Danny Dimes. So the statement is this: given all of that with AR-15, Danny Dimes playing in the Shane Steichen offense, his running ability, everything else, he's going to start. He's going to be the start, revive his career, and he's going to lead the Indianapolis Colts to the playoffs this season. Fact or cap? Hensley.
I'm gonna go cap, man. Now, Danny Dimes is not going over there and taking Mr. AR-15 job. I think that is all cap with a capital. If you can get a super cap key on the keyboard and push it, that's be the biggest cap you ever see. So I'll say cap Anthony Richardson. I don't think they go to playoffs, but I think Anthony Richardson will be the starter.
What you got, Nick?
I'm gonna go cap as well, for all the things that Hense said, because they're all 100% correct. I just don't see it.
Man, I'm gonna go fact. I'm gonna go fact on this one. Danny Dimes to me still is a legit quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He was in the wrong system with the Giants. I think come over and show up AR-15 because, man, BowTie style of the dude, he nothing but a strong arm. Strong arm. He's an athletic guy that can run. Strong arm with athletics. That's all he is. He can't read a damn defense, gentlemen. He can't read a damn defense, man.
He's also got shitty coaching.
Oh, but that too. And he's overhyped. He's overhyped. I'm sorry, man. I was one of those guys, including Bo over here. We overhyped the dude. The man had one game against LSU with the Florida Gators. He did one hell of a damn throw, and we hyped the dude up. Other than that, he's garbage. He's straight stink.
You can talk behind bars, sir.
Stink doo-doo. So I'm gonna go with fact. Danny Dimes coming in.
Give him that tin cup that he can just rake along the bars there.
That dude, Danny Dimes, your boy, respect you, sir. I want you to start.
I'm going fact on this one, and to what Nick's saying about crappy coaching. I mean, Shane Steichen did a hell of a job with Jalen Hurts, getting him to the level he's at when he was in Philadelphia. So Shane Steichen is a very good coach. So I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think just the fact that the kid has only started 13 games at Florida, 13. Right. And was never consistent there. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't have the ability, the tools, the skills to wow coaches and get people fired up and make him the 4th pick overall in the draft, but potential will get you fired, man. NFL is not for long, and you're not going to get a ton of opportunities. Hopefully he's healthy enough to win this job in the summer. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Danny Dimes if you spend like 6 to 8 weeks in the proximity of Kevin O'Connell, it's like it just ups your game. Look at what it did for Sam Darnold. Come on now, let's go. Yeah, Danny Dimes, let's see it. And they've got a good team around them. Very good defense.
Danny Dimes.
They can run the ball. They've got weapons. So let's go. All right, so it was announced earlier, and I don't know when they may have announced it. It actually was going back to 2024. The Patriots going to put up a statue of Tom Brady in front of the stadium, and it's going to be unveiled this summer, August 8th, versus the Commanders. I think it probably had to do with Tom's schedule and his job with Fox and everything like that. But this is a big deal. Obviously, he's arguably the best player in the NFL for a number of years. Led that franchise to 6 Super Bowls. But there's a looming shadow over that whole franchise, and that is one coach, Bill Belichick. Now, Bill wrote a book. I don't know if he wrote it. His name is certainly on it and so forth. And in the foreword, he thanks everybody and everybody's brother that had anything to do with the Patriots, except for the guy that signed the checks. and kind of hired him when it looked like he may not get hired again in the NFL. Doesn't mention him in the book. So the statement is this: even though, I mean, Brady, there's always this debate, Brady, Belichick. Well, we believe it's Brady, but the statement is this: Bill Belichick, even though there's talk that he's going to get a statue somewhere in Boston, but at Gillette, if the Krafts have anything to do with it, he will not get a statue in front of that stadium. Fact or cap, Hensley?
I would say that would be a strong cap. They won't be the Patriots without Bill Belichick. They won't have Tom Brady without Bill Belichick. So, hey, if Sid the Kid can get the a statue in front of the stadium, a.k.a. Tom Brady, a.k.a. Deceiver Chucky, if he can get one, Belichick can get one as well. So, I would say that is a straight cat. Big cat. Big old hat that you have it on. The big old cat.
Well, Nick,
Nick, go ahead. Nick, go ahead. There you go. Nick.
Hey, now. Hey.
Yeah, I think definitely cap. I mean, there's no question he's going to be out there. And, for ownership, you got to look at one thing. They made a ton of money in that era. For 20 years, they were at the pinnacle of NFL success. They maximized profits. They got a new stadium. They got a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't think the Kraft family is going to be all hurt and upset, that he was omitted from the novel or the fiction or whatever it ends up being. But he's going to get his statue. He has to.
So the question is Bill Belichick going to get him a statue? Right?
Statement says that he will not.
Nah, Brady's the guy. To hell with that. Brady made Belichick what he is. I'm gonna definitely go. I'm gonna definitely go. I'm gonna say cap.
Fact.
Then I'm going to fact. It's a fact, Lou. Fact, right?
Which one is it, dude?
Don't go with your takes because that was funny. But listen though. Tom Brady made Belichick, guys. Can we agree? Tom Brady made Belichick.
Nah, they made each other.
No.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You can't talk behind ball.
Brady made Belichick. Sorry, guys. I mean. Facts is facts.
That could very well be, but I don't know that I don't know that there's any question about a deserving of it. But these guys have some significant egos, and he's taken some shots at them, whether passive aggressively or just aggressively since he left. And again, just omitting them there just tells you that there's definitely friction there, and it wasn't so much a mutual parting of the ways. I think that the Krafts basically said, "You got to go. This has gone on too far. I mean, you kind of running this thing into the ground. We need to change up." So until and when maybe Bill might have to reach out to them and apologize for certain things, which I don't believe he's ever going to do. I'm going fact on this. I'm sticking it. It's all about Brady here.
Thank you, Lou.
It's all love between the Krafts.
Shove that in your face,
Tom.
boy.
Terrific. Okay, last one. Of course, this one's going to have a Chiefs flavor to it, so I'm sure this will be a lightning rod. Earlier today, an article dropped on The Athletic from the great Michael Silver, author, journalist, whatever you want to call him, insider at a certain point. He's written books about the San Francisco 49ers. He was with the San Francisco Chronicle for years. He was on NFL Network for years. Pretty decent resource in terms of the NFL. Been around it for years. So he wrote an article about the Chiefs. I think he may have been in town. He had some quotes from Coach Reed, from Nagy, from Kingsley, and so forth, and talking about the gist of the article is about them reshuffling their offensive line, kind of in the midst of this historic run and having to do it for a second time. So the statement is this: the experiment of moving Kingsley to guard will turn out to be one of the biggest stroke of geniuses by Coach Reed in his entire career. Hensley, fact or cap?
You talk about where I get my questions from. I don't know where you got that one from. I don't think that will be the greatest the move, but in NFL, in Andy Reid's career, you got to argue Patrick Mahomes, drafting Patrick Mahomes. So I would say that would be a strong cap. I had all caps today, so
I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna go fact. I'm not gonna say totally the greatest, but I think it has the most risk and reward. So a lot of the decisions that Andy's made about switching guys or moving guys, has been pretty spot on, and it's been pretty accurate, and it's also been very, very obvious. This one is him saying, you know what? Despite my offensive line coach, despite the fact that we drafted him as a left tackle, let's throw him out there in guard and see what he can do. If he turns into a solid left guard for this football team, and they sort out right tackle and left tackle, which I believe that they will, it'll work itself out. I'd say yes. I'd give Andy major props for the guts to say, we drafted two high round tackles. One of them, Wanya Morris, is okay. He's average backup. Kingsley Sumatea came in. Remember the video of him jumping out of the pool with his legs onto the side of the pool. We all thought this guy was just going to be this massive talent, and he struggled, and they put him inside. So yeah, I'm gonna go fact on that one.
If it's done right, and if he goes out there and prove himself at guard, it'll be one of the greatest moves by Andy Reid, hands down. Because you get Mahomes that protection he need, and all y'all this panel will love Worthy. So don't you stop me, sir, Mr. Cap, Big Cap. So I'm gonna go with fact, sir. I'm gonna go with fact. It will be the greatest move by Andy Reid. Fact. If it's done right, if you leave it to that potential, it'd be
Go eat your peanut butter sandwich.
Because if
you be quiet, let Lou talk, sir.
Not just solid, but I look at it this way: he may become, kind of like a Trey Smith.
Yeah.
At that position, he certainly has the athletic ability, has all the characteristics to be great at that position. And for them to do this early in his career, and that if that hits the way I think it can, then absolutely this is going to be one of the greatest moves he's ever made. So
thank you.
I get it.
Captain failed.
I hear you with drafting Patrick Mahomes. Did he sign off on it? Yeah, okay. Right. But I think that credit's got to go more so to Brett Beach, Bill Dorsey, and So anyway. All right, that is going to do it for this week's Factor Cap. We appreciate you playing. Hey, again, I typically don't spout off about the other publications and so forth, but this was a pretty decent article by Silver, and he does posit the fact that they can actually make 3 changes on this offensive line. We've been saying that for a few weeks, that it's all in flux outside of Trey and Creed. So stay tuned. It's going to be a fun summer to see kind of how they reposition this whole thing. But as always, brought to you by our friends at Underdog Fantasy Sports.
Yep. Underdog.
The Underdog. So with that said, guys, let's get right into the topic, man. The famous catch by Travis Kelce.
Which famous catch? So many.
Yeah, which one?
Which one was his greatest catch? I know what his greatest catch was. Do you guys know? So go ahead, Lou, read the statement on the screen.
Okay, so Travis Kelce doesn't just catch passes. He catches fire. Every play is a spark, igniting the field and reminding us that greatness is earned, not given. That, of course, is attributed to our very own Hense Todd. So, a very incendiary statement.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bold statement, but again,
let's just stop right now. His greatest catch of all time, again, is by his side everywhere he goes, and that's Taylor Swift. I don't think there's any question. We can just move on to the next one.
He outkicked his coverage on that one.
That one caught me off guard, Lou. That one caught me off guard. That was a good one. That was a good one, Lou.
That's what I was going to say. Is like, hey, his greatest catch gotta be Taylor Swift. Yeah. But go ahead and get into question, Luke.
Oh, okay. So there is a
question.
Yeah, is Travis the most athletic tight end of all time? Athletic?
You know, that's a good question. I mean, Kellen Winslow was pretty athletic, kind of similar size back in the day when he played for the Chargers. I think he has I don't know if he's the most athletic of all time. I think the issue is going to be, he had to learn how to play with the size, and he had great speed coming out of Cincinnati. He displayed that speed. He doesn't have quite the speed he used to, but I will give him this, and I will add it with, as far as athleticism goes, the guy's a workout warrior. He plays through pain. He plays in minus 10 degree weather in short sleeves. He does everything that he can to make sure that he's in shape for everything. I don't know if he's the most athletic of all time. I like Big Chief's comment. He's probably the most fluid tight end of all time. So I'll answer it with that. I'm stealing it from Big Chief.
I would say so far what I've seen, the moves and like the overtime. When I first seen him play, was it against Cincinnati in his rookie year in the preseason when he first came out and he was playing against Cincinnati. I was like, man, I never seen a tight end move like that. Besides, everybody gonna say Kyle Pitts could be the most athletic tight end, because the fast, the height, the size, the way he moves like a wide receiver, but. The way Travis Kelce maneuvers on the field, attacks the middle of the field and takes on double teams, and everybody looks at it. Look like he's running very slow, but he's out there moving fast guys off of him. So I had to say, yes, he's the most, athletic tight end I ever seen with these 4 eyes, because I got the glasses on. Yes.
I'm gonna say, Vernon. I like what King Mo said. Vernon Davis. I like Vernon Davis too, because he was a very athletic tight end, crazy speed. Man, he gonna take your block off too. Yeah, physical. But Kyle Pitts to me is the most athletic tight end.
Oh, come on.
Kyle Pitts is like you put Kyle Pitts on the outside. Give him a good. Put him in a good system. Put Kyle Pitts in a good passing system. He's going to kick ass, because Kelce is athletic in the sense of he fit the system of Andy Reid. But you put Kyle Pitts in a passing attack, spread them out, different ball game, bro.
It's not. He's had every opportunity, even with bad quarterbacks. He sucks.
I mean,
they're trying to trade him. There's no way you can put him in some most athletic.
Question is, he don't fit the athletic. I don't. Yeah. So I guess that's the key. I mean, if we're going off of strictly athletic, I think Travis gets the most out of the athleticism that he has of any tight end maybe that's ever played. Now there have been some that were bigger, stronger, faster. I mean, all the different things that you look at in terms of athleticism, being able to, contort your body, do all these different things. Travis he runs his routes almost like a wide receiver. You would put his moves up there with like Devontae Adams, because Devontae probably has the best just kind of crossovers, getting free straight away from the line of scrimmage. So from that perspective, I think Travis has a lot of athleticism. But if you put it all together, like you say, combine numbers and guys that have done it that way, there's plenty of guys that I think are more athletic, but in terms of just football instinct, knowing leverage, just the IQ in terms of running routes and so forth, that's where I think he really excels and puts himself near the top of the list.
I think when you said athlete, I think we said the IQ. You said the IQ part of it. The IQ part, that's years under Andy Reid and that philosophy. But as far as athletic goes, it's a lot of tight ends though. Kevin Winslow Jr. was he was an athletic tight end.
Well, I know my grandpa always say, hey, you don't got to be athletic on the field. You can be athletic in your mind too. So, hey, if Travis Kelce out there moving people around with his mind and his mind powers at will, I just say he's the most athletic. Got to be the guy that's out there doing damage out there on the field that's moving. Hey, Jalen Ramsey, all the big guys, and all the big names he went up against, he still finds a way to get open. He still finds a way to move the chains and get down the field. And plus that overtime catch and housed it with the, against the Chargers. Man, I don't think, you can name Vernon Davis, you can name Kyle Pitts, but I don't think none of them doing that. Right off the bat, this is what it is.
Thank you, Patrick Mahomes. Thank you, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, outstanding, Patrick. Yeah,
somebody got to go to ball, sir.
Patrick Mahomes. Thank you.
Whatever, sir.
That's all.
Right,
Patrick made it happen.
Whatever, sir.
What does the barber say? Next.
So, go ahead and get to the next question, Lou.
Has Travis been more valuable to his team than Tony Gonzalez or Rob Gronkowski were to theirs? Nick?
Yeah, I'd say absolutely yes. I think to go from the evolution of Alex Smith to Patrick Mahomes, I think what he has meant to this offense. What's that?
I gave you something to think about, huh?
Yeah, you gave me something to think about. I think for the overall offensive concept and the success and the postseason success and his ability to perform ballet maneuvers out there on the field with Patrick Mahomes, going into places where the play isn't and making big plays. No question he's their offensive MVP and has been really since this Super Bowl era began for the Chiefs. Yeah, Tyreek Hill for a couple years, but Travis has been the one constant. He's been that go-to guy, and that's something that they're going to miss, whenever he decides to hang up his cleats. But for me, Tony Gonzalez was valuable, but they also had some other offensive weapons, in that era. But no question that Travis is, he has meant the most and been more valuable as a playmaker. For a guy who has shown how to do it on the field and also the way he conducts himself off the field.
Well, if you look at it, everybody going to say Rob, you know what I mean? He's the rings, he did it with everything else. But I have to say, I know it's a Travis Kelce show. I have to say Tony G, man. Tony, he did it. He did it with no quarterbacks. He did it with nobody behind him.
Trent Green. Trent Green was nothing.
I just said Tony Gonzalez was blocking. I think he was more valuable. He brought a lot of stuff to the, it was nobody but him, right? When Tony Gonzalez came, it was nobody else. You think about it. Yeah, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, all
them damn weapons, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. But when you go to Gonzalez, who you have around him? Johnny Morton.
The best offensive line in the league.
I'm talking about that. He was here before them, though, right? Was he not, Nick and Luke? Was he not here before all those? And he was still putting in numbers by himself. So I had to say, more viable in that moment, it had to be Tony Gonzalez.
Rob Gronkowski all day, because we know Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, that's all it was in New England. He can block, one of the best blocking tight ends, Bo. One of the best receivers, and nobody wants to go against Rob Gronkowski out there in the secondary. They couldn't bring that man down. It took the whole defense to bring Rob Gronkowski down. Before he got hurt, he was the man in New England. People feared Rob Gronkowski, feared him. So to me, Rob Gronkowski all day, because he was the best all-around tight end. Without Rob Gronkowski, Braden, they do not win rings without Rob Gronkowski.
Well, you say that the same thing about Kelce, too.
Kelce had weapons, though. Yeah, Kelce had weapons around him, though.
No, they don't win. They don't win Super Bowls without Kelce. No way.
So I would say in terms of Travis, I think because of the longevity, the numbers that he put in. Now Tony G played a lot longer, but you can certainly say those last 4 years. I mean, he was really just kind of a space eater, more of a in Atlanta with Matt Ryan was just kind of a post up guy. And again, there was a place for that, and he was very effective. As far as Gronk is concerned, I think he was at his best when they had Aaron Hernandez and they ran that 12 personnel, and nobody could really cover either of those two guys.
Right.
Whereas I think they leaned a little bit more on Travis here, regardless of whether it was Tyreek or whatever, but it was always kind of the passing game centered around him. Now, maybe that had more to do with Patrick, but I think Travis was really, now again, we're splitting hairs here. It's not like these guys weren't important to their teams at all, and it's all about Travis. This is like really, really splitting hairs. So I would just say that because of that fact of the longevity and the fact that the numbers he was putting up ranked up there with all pass catchers, wide receivers, he at a certain point, with all, say, over the decade, he was up. I mean, there was wide receivers that he was ahead of in terms of catches, yards, touchdowns. So for that, I would say slightly Travis would have been more valuable.
I think when you said longevity, I mean, if you want to separate the two between Rob and Travis Kelce, you would say longevity. But can you imagine if Gronkowski was like really healthy and he didn't get banged up? This is a whole different conversation right now.
Yeah, I hear.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
but
we'll
but all around. Yeah, I got you.
Had balls. Yeah.
What the hell?
All right. So has Travis had a greater impact on the tight end position than Gronkowski? Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I think what Gronkowski did was he brought the tight end back into the game. There's been a lot of really great tight ends through the years, but the way Gronk was used in that offense, the relationship that he had on the field with Tom Brady, of course, Josh McDaniels had a lot to do with their success, the way he designed the offense. So I would say as far as an impact of the game itself and the evolution of the next level for guys like Travis Kelce to be successful, I think Gronkowski had a really big impact on the overall position, what a tight end could do in an offense. They had very similar traits. They had good speed. They had power. They could beat, linebackers, corners, safeties. It didn't matter to them. They were difficult to match up. They were very difficult, very, very difficult indeed. So I think that when you look at it, I think Gronk brought back the tight end position in the end.
I have to say, Travis Kelce. The camps and stuff he brought to the tight end room, giving all the other guys the knowledge of what he learned on the field. And also, the catch of the day. The greatest tight end of all time, carrying around the greatest, icon of all time, probably up there with Michael Jackson and Taylor Swift. So I would just say, yes, he changed more impact on a tight end position. I know you probably don't agree, Mr. Jean Jacket. Go ahead. What you guys say, sir?
All right, thick beard. I'm gonna say this one, man. I'm gonna say this. I think Gronkowski was just the most purest tight end in the league. Pure. He can block, catch. He's a mismatch problem for the safeties and whatnot. There was nobody that can cover him. I didn't want to cover him because of his size. And like you stated about Travis Kelce in the system, Andy Reid put Travis Kelce in great positions out there because Andy Reid really polished Travis Kelce. If you look at Rob Gronkowski, man, he was just a threat by himself. You put him out there one-on-ones, he's going to get it done. He definitely going to get it done because when he went to Tampa Bay, he was still productive over there in Tampa Bay. So my thing is, I feel like Rob Gronkowski put more emphasis on that tight end position.
Yeah, this is a tough one because I guess from Travis' perspective, again, the longevity and just the consistency over all that time and just production wise, I hear what you're saying about Gronk and maybe being, better inline blocker for the most part, but in terms of just greater impact on the position, I think I'm still going to go with Travis here just because of that fact. And you mentioned it in terms of the tight end university, and I think they're going into their 5th year here at the end of this month in Nashville. And you'd have to, you're not going to shortchange what Greg Olsen did, what Kittle has done, and some of these other guys that are playing now. Right. So, it's between those two, I would say Travis, but there's a pretty good selection of tight ends that have been playing over the last 10 years, and it has kind of risen during this time more than others. And you can say it's because of the rise of the passing game and whatever you want. But in terms of just more impact on the position, getting those guys paid, I think Travis might have it there.
All right. So get into the next question.
Okay, will Patrick and Kelce go down as the greatest duo in NFL history, regardless of position?
Yes, I think when you look at how we all judge statistics, we look at complete dominance by two individuals. There's a lot of combination. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice,
Exactly.
Gary Bradshaw, Lynn Swann. There's a ton of these, but I think because of the birth of fantasy football and statistics and everything else, I think you have to look at their production, and it's been remarkable. I mean, they have virtually most of the a lot of postseason records, especially Kelce. I think he's maybe 160 yards away from being number one in postseason receiving yards. I think he's 1 or 2 touchdowns away from passing Jerry Rice. He's already got him by the receptions by quite a bit. Then you look at Patrick Mahomes, 7 years as a starter, 7 AFC championships games, what these two have done together, how they developed their game. And I go back to 2018 when Patrick Mahomes made his first start in Pittsburgh, was it? Or second game in Pittsburgh that year?
Yeah,
that you were at, Lou. And, I mean, that's when we saw what these two guys could be together.
Well, the opener in LA wasn't bad either.
Yeah, the debut in LA was pretty good. I think
he had
11 touchdowns in 2 weeks.
After the second week of the season, he had 10 touchdown passes.
Yeah, it's sick what this kid, what they can do. But their chemistry and what they do in the postseason together has a lot to do with their success. So I would say they are the greatest pass catching duo in NFL history, no question.
I'll just say if they started together when Patrick Mahomes came in, when Travis Kelce came in, and those two was there for their whole career, yes,
they missed one season. Oh, you're talking about when they came together. I gotcha.
Yeah. If that case, yes. But other than that, man, for me, I know people were gonna say what, but when I started watching football, I had to say it had to be Randy Moss and Dante Culpepper. For me, Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper is the greatest connection I've seen on earth. Those two going down the field together. The chemistry those two had. You know what I mean? So I love Travis Kelce. I love Patrick Mahomes. I'm a big Chiefs fan, but watching when I first started watching, I saw those two connecting back and forth. But if I had to choose, I had to say Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper. They rolling, keep it going.
Well, I got two, man. I want to say Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison, and I'm gonna have to go with Jerry Rice and Joe Montana. Those connections was money. I mean, that was on time money. Jerry Rice with his rings, Joe Montana with his ring. It just they both clutch. They both clutch. I feel like Jerry Rice on his end never quit on his team, like somebody we know in the Chiefs kingdom. So I'm gonna definitely go with Joe Montana and Jerry Rice because both of them guys get it done, man, and you can count on both of them guys to win big in the late games, man. So that's what I'm gonna go with there.
Coach, you can't just lob that grenade and not explain yourself.
What you talking about?
Who quit on the team?
I mean, one of the greatest tight ends, the second best tight end in the league. In my eyes,
it ain't quit, sir.
In my eyes. I mean, look,
man, if you never woken up and had a bad day.
Let me be Pacific,
that
man.
Kind of stone nonsense is ridiculous.
So wait a second. Hold on. Who is
Travis Kelce?
He's talking about
Travis
Kelce in the Super Bowl.
Travis Kelce
Because he had a bad game.
Oh my
God.
Well,
I don't think Jerry Rice had a bad game in the Super Bowl.
You watch ESPN a lot, don't you?
No, I watch me a lot. I watch what I look at, Lou. You know what's crazy, Lou? I'm just saying because somebody to sit there and watch your guy get beat up. To sit and watch your guy get beat up and not give no effort? Come on,
I honestly don't understand.
You're talking about one
doing
breakdown in one play. That's absolutely insane.
And he looked all dumbfounded. He was like, I don't know what happened.
Why did the bars not mute as well? I don't understand.
I'm sorry, guys. I know that shot.
So here's the thing. It's tough to contextualize guys that are still playing. If you're talking about like in NFL history, I don't know how much how many more seasons they're going to play together. This may be the last one, but for that time in their era, they certainly are. I don't think there's any question about it. The thing is that they've played so many playoff games together. Patrick's 17-4 in the playoffs, which is just utterly ridiculous, right? That they've played that many playoff games together in a 7-year span. It's just crazy. Now, you can certainly say, if you want to like qualitatively look at it, in other words, kind of more flash and a little bit more pizzazz, yeah, you would say Joe and Jerry, because, usually they were the biggest plays in the biggest games. And it was just, and the same thing for Travis. But again, playing tight end, it's not like he's going 80 yards over the top all the time. Whereas Rice, it would just be any place on the field. It could be a touchdown. It could be 6, break a tackle and he's gone, or Joe just throwing it over the top. So I think those would probably be the 2 top for me. And I like yours of Manning and Harrison. That always seemed almost like surgical. Yeah. I mean, I remember vividly, I would get bored watching Colts games because Peyton would be standing at the line of scrimmage, almost, just kind of directing the entire team at the line, and it would be like a 7-yard pass, and it was just like Chinese water torture. I'm like, God, I can't. It's almost boring. It was so surgical, but no, any number of those ones that you mentioned, yeah, I mean, it was electric for like one or
Randy Moss and Dante Culpepper.
Well, I was going to say that was like electric for like a year or two, right? I mean, it really didn't last very long. I mean, that could have been amazing. But it just didn't last long enough. I mean, you had Randall thrown in there as well. That was probably their best team they ever had, and they lost in the playoffs. But I'm gonna side with these guys for this era. If we're going back, then I would say Joe and Jerry.
What you got to say, Coach? He's behind bars. He has nothing to say.
Be quiet unless I speak to you.
Shut the fuck up!
All right, I'll free him. He'll be free.
I stay my claim, man. I always said it.
It's just not his type.
Yeah, he's not a Chiefs fan. I guess that's all it is.
Oh my gosh, I would say that. That is crazy.
He may tell. So let's go to the next question.
All right, let's move on.
Do you think Travis will be remembered as the greatest tight end ever when he retires?
I'm going to answer this very simply. He will be the greatest tight end of all time. And I have an affinity toward, Raymond Berry and Mike Ditka and the old school guys. But I think for what Travis has accomplished in his career, his leadership, his work ethic, his production, his sacrifices, sacrificing his body to the team and just what he does in clutch time. In my view, I think he will be the greatest tight end of all time to play that position at a time when the NFL was its very most difficult to have success in. And in an era when defenses are stronger, these guys are bigger and faster. You've got defensive coordinators that design everything in the sun to try and stop you. And they still found a way to have success despite all the things against them. So for me, Travis Kelce, when it's all said and done, when he's hoisting he's in Canton and he's got his trophy there and he's in the NFL Hall of Fame, he will go down in my book as the greatest tight end of all time.
I would agree. I would say yes. When he hangs it up and he walked down that aisle and he said,
yes to everything, man.
When he said, I do to Taylor Swift and make her Kelce, Mrs. Kelce, I would say yes. He will be
babies at the presentation. Yeah, that'll be great.
The greatest tight end ever. He came in, he shot his shot with the friendship bracelet. He said, hey, I'm going to do this. I want the girl. He said, I want the girl of my dreams. And he went to go get her. The girl that nobody think that they can get to and get to touch and get close to and say, I can ask her out. He did that. And he also scored torturing people on a football field and everything else with that. And also the multiple rings that he have, He will be the greatest tight end ever. Maybe the greatest player, maybe the greatest Chief ever to retire when it's all said and done.
I wouldn't go that
A
far.
bunch
I'll
of
say
guys
greatest.
did try Hense, and
Better than anybody.
they got shredded on records for doing so.
So I'm gonna say,
Travis did it, right?
yeah, Travis. Hey, I've been bashing Travis. Well, not bashing because he was lazy on the last game. But I'm gonna say this: Travis Kelce is like the best tight end ever in the NFL. Period. It's hands down. Travis Kelce has that a lot, man. The mismatch problems, man. That boy look like a wide receiver out there sometimes, man. It's like at his size and his height with the things he's been doing, man, he's become probably one of the greatest ever to do it at that position. So I would definitely get Travis Kelce his credit. Definitely.
I would hate to sound like a broken record, but going back to what I said before, just the fact of the longevity, the production, and then just the production in big, meaningful games, meaningful moments. That was all. I mean, everybody in the building knows where the ball is going, and he still finds a way to get open and then bring down the catch. Again, I'm not going to say hands down because there's a lot of really good tight ends, that have come along. But when you put it all together in terms of the consistency of production, the playoff wins, and then being not just being part of a playoff winning team, but like being kind of the reason, you're making the big plays in the biggest games, that, separates you, gets you into the Hall of Fame. And hell, even
that's one hell of a picture right there. That's one hell of a picture right there. We're not gonna recommend that shot to the upcoming players. You don't yell at the coach like that. You know what I'm saying?
You got to have some pelts on the wall to be able.
We don't do that, man. I don't know where that picture came from.
I told you, I would like a Marcus Peters on my teams. I would like
they would kick you out the league. They would kick your butt out the league.
If you want nobody to say, hey, yes, coach. If the coach in the wrong place, say, coach, I need you to be a better coach. And that's what he did on that side.
What? I need you to be a better coach. What the hell?
Hey, it's a challenge. It's all about the challenge.
Tell your head coach you need to be. Like tell your dad, I need you to be a better father. You know what? Get smacked. Like, man, who gonna tell their coach you need to be a better coach?
Hey,
come on, man.
Sometimes it happens. All right, we're gonna get to the question.
Shout out to Lawrence Taylor.
I know to the last question. I know most of y'all probably answered, but I didn't get Dre's answer or Nick's answer.
That was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, we kind of talked about that. I think, boy, that's a tough one for me. I think the most insane catch was the 4th and 5-yard dive he made in the Ravens game, an AFC title game a couple years ago. Just from where the play began, where he had to go, and what he had to do to catch the ball. And I would say, as far as a non-touchdown play, that might be one of my favorite plays. Just what he sacrificed in his body, how he read Patrick Mahomes' mind. Patrick was harassed. He just threw it up there and just said, okay, here's the Hail Mary. He catches more Hail Marys than anybody I've seen in forever consistently. To me, that was my favorite non-touchdown catch. I'd say for a touchdown, I have to go to the Bills AFC divisional game in Kansas City in overtime. The level of difficulty, the positioning he had to keep his feet in, back shoulder throw, everything had to be perfect. Not a lot of guys can make that catch, I think, under the situation. To me, that was pretty awesome.
Damn, Nick, you took you had 2 answers, man. That ain't fair. Man, you wanted the Baltimore Ravens.
I did start the podcast, and I put up with your nonsense about Travis.
You're gonna take my answer. Thank you, Nick, for taking my damn answer.
Give us your top
I'm gonna say the
five,
overtime.
Coach.
I'm gonna say okay, you can top 5 right now, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give me a second. But I'm gonna say the overtime catch, man, definitely because the game was on the line. It was so much pressure on both sides, man, especially on the Kansas City Chiefs, man, because Buffalo Bills is right there. But for him to make that catch, and we stated earlier in the show about Travis Kelce being a mismatch problem, it looked like a wide receiver on that play. To have the concentration and the ball security and with the feet in bounds to make that throw and make that catch in tight spaces, in that tight space, yeah, hands down, it's an overtime game for me.
I have to say, I have to agree with Dre. That was my favorite catch of his. Clutch moment. You know what I mean? When overtime, the game on the line, the guy himself to people. He looked like he was out there on the skateboard. You know, the kid down. They said don't ride the skateboard down here. The kid still rides the skateboard through there smoothly, not getting touched. That is Travis Kelce. That's what Travis Kelce was doing on that catch against the Chargers. I'll say that was his favorite catch. I know Lou probably already answered his question. He said,
no, Travis. I think that, the one for me, I mean, right as soon as I read it, was the one in the divisional round, the 13-second game, in the overtime.
Yeah,
we all saw that one because that was the most consequential one. Now, it wasn't quite Santonio Holmes in the back of the end zone of the Super Bowl.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man.
But it was pretty damn close.
The longest replay in NFL history.
And I think that the why it gets glossed over, I think, a little bit more in terms of that is, one, that was a Super Bowl. I get it. And this is a divisional round game, but it was almost like at that point, once they got it to overtime, it was almost like everybody in the stadium knew what was going to happen as soon as they won the toss. There was no way that Buffalo was going to be able to stop them, but it was just like it was just so anticlimactic. But if you look at the play, it's amazing. The accuracy of the throw, Travis, kind of dragging his feet and laying out for the ball. I mean, that was a great catch, but I think it kind of gets lost in just the fact that everybody knew the Chiefs were going to win. And it was like, okay, whatever. Travis caught it. That's just the way it always goes. But that was truly, truly a great, great play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One of the greatest plays ever. And one of the greatest catches ever is catching, everybody know who he caught. The famous one that brought a lot of Chiefs, energy.
Really leaning into this, Hensley.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great story. It's a feel good thing. They were.
If you want something, go get it.
Yeah,
that's right. That's
absolutely
a perfect example of a guy who
never
quits. He never gives up. He goes after what he wants.
You talking about Kelce?
Never up, never
quit, and never give up. That's interesting.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
You don't. Yeah, you gotta make sure you block for your captain.
All right.
You block for your captain. I'm just saying.
Get in some of these questions. Nick.
All right, let me go back here and see if I can pull up a few really good comments. Let's see.
Kathy Welch has been on one all day. I
can't
remember. There was a couple.
Kenny says, "Good news. The Chiefs is a month away from training camp. That's for sure." All right, let's get. Let's see. Hold on, Crystal Lee. And he's not New York man. No pusher on 10 cents. I'm not sure what that was for. Oh, that was Carson Wentz, I believe. Let's see.
Dimes.
Ikoa's back. Appreciate you. Let's see. Big Chief, the most athletic. There's some freaks. I would say he's the most fluid tight end of all time. Crystal Lee, no question about his savvy and craftiness at the tight end position. Let's see.
Smooth and creamy.
Kathy Welch Gates was a monster, no question for the Chargers. Absolutely, he was really great.
Yeah, I mean the multi-sport guys: Tony G, Gates, Jeremy Shockey, Jimmy Graham. I mean, guys that had played basketball, at a decent, Division I level. So I mean, they got to be really good athletes to do that. So you got to include them, but they just never had quite the longevity and the playoff prowess that Travis has had. But yeah, there's been so many.
Travis better get mean this year. He better get mean this year.
You don't need to worry about nothing.
He's gonna be a mean blocker this year, though.
You don't have to worry about
mean
nothing.
Blocker this year, boy. I feel it.
You don't have to worry about nothing.
2,000 yards. Travis Kelce this year.
You got about 4 weeks, and you can get on your Bengals and Cardinals bandwagon.
Why do you keep bringing up my guys? I've been doing good for the last couple shows.
The Bengals are the most dysfunctional franchise in the NFL.
They need to sign their rookie. I think it's not that rookie right now.
I think we need to talk about this a little bit. Okay, so everybody remembers the off-season Hard Knocks with the Giants and the whole thing with Saquon or whatever.
Yeah,
I would pay money I mean, extra money to have them do that at the Bengals front office and just hear the conversations when these players want more money, or, you know, your best pass rusher, whatever, best defensive player, and they told him, hey, go out, produce, get a new contract, led the league in sacks for a second straight year, and he's having to hold out. The thing with Shamar Stewart, really, I mean, the kid, again, I get it. He's a rookie, he's just coming in, but he kind of told it like it was, when he said into a microphone that they would rather win an argument than potentially win games. That was so telling. I mean, a guy that just got there and he already realizes that, you know, putting kind of strange language, I wouldn't say strange, but just changing language in a contract that just in case he doesn't work out, they could get out of paying him his guaranteed money, all of it, instead or within, because typically it's within the year that you have a default, or you get suspended or do something unbecoming of the team, whatever, they can take away some of your guarantee. So now he walks out. I would just love to hear the conversations that go on between, I think, is it Brown's daughter, Katie Blackburn, or whatever position she has, and him and whoever else is involved, Duke Tobin, the GM. Hell, throw the coach in there, because I think he just has to throw his arms up and say, I'm gonna
piggyback off that. It don't look good for the Bengals organization right now, dealing with a rookie, man. It don't look good right now.
All the Chiefs rookies are signed, correct?
Yeah, they are.
That's what championship teams.
Wait. Lou said no. Lou said no.
Players done.
I just want to answer. They are not.
They are not signed. Thank you. That's what the Chiefs organization does. I'm sorry.
No, that's not what the Chiefs organization does.
Bo bit that. He took that one.
There's something happening on a macro level in the NFL. Every first round contract is guaranteed fully. Right. And those are the only ones. Well, some of the guys in the second round that were picked in the early 30s were able to negotiate fully guaranteed contracts. Those are 4-year deals, not 4 and an option. So now 30 of the 32 second round picks have not signed, because I think they're like, well, wait a second, how far down the second round can this go? Right. So I'm sure Omar Norman Lott's agent is like, well, we're not going to sign the deal the way it is. Let's wait and see where this is. So it's kind of at a stalemate for almost all the second round picks right now, because they're trying to get fully guaranteed contracts.
That's what
the way the NFLPA and the owners designed it was, the first round guys all got 4-year plus a 5th-year option. Beyond that, it was 4 years. And guys started getting guarantees. And then this year it's kind of crazy. How these guys are working in unison, all these agents with the teams. It's a problem, but it's something that I think will be addressed in more definitive terms in the next CBA, I think.
Perhaps, but for the time being, when we're talking about our guy parking lot, he is one of the 30, and this could potentially drag on, because again, he's at the end of the second round, so
I think the
probability of him getting a fully guaranteed deal is probably small. But if you are negotiating and you're seeing a couple guys already got it, why would you? Why wouldn't you try to get a fully guaranteed deal? So
Kathy got a good one, man. Kathy said, so they trying to get this guy a box of pack of crackers, packets of crackers, man. But listen, the Bengals know what they're doing.
Oyster ones that you put in your soup.
Damn, not even the Ritz crackers.
Yeah,
the little small ones.
They are. Yeah,
they're small. We talking about assorted crackers. So you mean tell me
the best?
Yeah, the ones that you put in soup or chili. Yeah,
the wheat thins are better.
They give them the ones you get at communion. You know,
shut up, fool. Do me a community cracker. Ah! They got no seasoning. They got no seasoning. Crackers.
What church do you guys go to?
Not really.
Man, boy, they give me them dry ass crackers. Where's the juice at? Shit. Nah, you know what though?
When's the last time you saw the inside of a church?
Nah, man, it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute.
You
I be
might
on
need
YouTube.
to go on Sunday.
Nah, I be on YouTube, man. I be on YouTube. I get my love on YouTube, man.
All right, very good.
Take my love on YouTube. Yeah.
So it does say,
but the Bengals do gotta get better though. The Bengals have to get better as an organization.
They got a long way to go.
But that's my point. It's just that, you know, like it was a huge deal that they literally in terms of getting Burrow to stay there.
Right.
Because there's a good chance. I mean, if he was from
gave up a
somewhere
lot of
other than
money.
Ohio, there's a good chance he doesn't re-sign with them because this is just ridiculous. I mean, how they operate. I mean, I think it would have been akin to Carson Palmer, where he just kind of said that I'm done with these guys. This is ridiculous, and kind of forced his way out. And there have been other players, you know, since then to talk about how they nickel and dime. They finally built like an indoor facility. I mean,
don't they practice by the freeway?
They do, but they did also. I think they upgraded a bit, from what I understand. But
so if you want to go watch them practice, you can just park your car outside this freeway.
Well, hopefully you don't stop.
Don't get smacked. Yeah, don't get smacked.
Well, they're gonna have to start charging people for those cars so they can start paying the bills.
Your whole car not silly.
But no, I mean
They don't see me.
If not for Burrow, I don't think Chase and Higgins get their deals.
No.
Nah,
so this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, Henderson's not getting his deal. They released Jermaine, the linebacker. Jermaine ended up signing with the Raiders.
Man,
hell, really
the Bengals should trade a first round pick and got some later rounds for this case.
The Bengals all
make sense.
The
Trade your
Bengals
first round pick, man. Yeah.
The Bengals are operating just like you. I don't know if you guys
paying their top 3 guys, and that's it, and that's all they care about.
Hey, shit!
I don't know if you guys seen that movie. Was it Nothing But Trouble? You seen that movie, Nothing But Trouble?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's what Bengals GM is. That judge. That's who he is. He's operating just like that judge of Nothing But Trouble. You don't even get nothing done. He just come in and just hold you hostage. Try to hold
Dan
you.
Aykroyd?
Yep.
Is it Dan Aykroyd? Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know that it's so much the GM than just ownership. They've just always been that way. The bottom line is,
right.
I mean, as much as fans would like to believe that their team, their leadership wants to win as much as the fans do, as soon as you kind of figure out that not all of these businesses operate that way. They're a business. They want to make as much money as possible. So if they don't have to spend as much on their players, they run, and the check's still cash, right? You're still getting that TV money from the NFL, and it's a tough thing to be a fan, and especially if your ownership or whatever just is kind of okay with just being okay. Now, Burrow, Higgins, Chase are going to continue to sell tickets. You know, it'll be a circus. Are they going to win with just those 3? Nah,
not a chance.
You just need a good defensive coach on the other side. We can get it done. Just give Burrow the ball back. We can get it done. I get the whole front office. They know what they was doing, man. I respect my guys, man. Shout out to that offense.
Good luck with that one.
We're gonna get it done.
Can't wait to bet more
I don't think any team will ever do the off-season Hard Knocks again after the Giants did, but it would just be pure theater.
That's what you want to see, though.
If they did Cincinnati,
that's what you want to see,
guys. We'll see you guys Monday on 4 Guys in the Bar, but you can catch
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Happy Father's Day, you guys. But you can catch me and Dre on Saturday at 1:30. We'll probably have a special guest if Lou wants to come on. If Lou can join us,
if Lou wants to tag along, we all for it.
I have to save my voice, man. You guys will have me yelling.
Oh yeah.
So
definitely,
guys. We'll see you guys Saturday. I hope you guys have a great Father's Day. Enjoy your families and your dads.
Call your dad and tell him you said hello.
That's
And
right.
don't overseason your dad's steak.
Hey, I eat vegetables and hummus. So you know what I'm saying? I don't need to worry about none of that. That's right.
Hey.